Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Kayla Fulmer, and I am going to be your instructor for the next 8 weeks on your content course related to groups and teams. I'm really excited about this class, in part because the beginning half of my semester, I've been teaching college freshmen for the first time, and it's been such a different experience for me to teach at this very introductory part of their academic journey, and then here to contrast that with you all at this very advanced stage of your academic journey. And I am someone who's very reflective and really likes looking sometimes at those juxtapositions. And it's just a wonderful, for me, it's been a really clarifying, wonderful journey of a semester, getting to have an impact at these various stages of students' academic careers. So I'm really excited to be here with you all. I've interacted with several of you by email, as mentees, with phone conversations at some of our events, and now to be able to have you as students in my classroom. I'm really looking forward to learning more about you and about what excites you and about your ideas. And I find that the DBA program has been really energizing for me because my students are looking at things from a different perspective. And a lot of what we do in academia is from this like singular, very restricted lens, and you all sort of blow that up with your own experiences and your own insights, and it's fun and it's engaging. So I'm glad to have you. I will say this course might be structured a little differently than some of your prior courses in the class, and that is intentional. So I'm going to kind of give you a rationale for that, and then if you have questions, let me know. But so far, a lot of your classes have been research methods and statistics based. You've needed some more step-by-step instruction of how to do these very complicated analyses. And that's been really useful because now you're collecting your own data and hopefully you're putting some of those strategies and lessons into practice. But this kind of class, a content-based class, is not so much step-by-step. It's not that you need to take a test or be held accountable for these very specific ways of doing research or ways of calculating things. Instead, the purpose is to help you think like a scholar, help you think broader, help you think bigger and asking questions and to feel curious about the content. So here it's not about making sure you get every explanation or discussion absolutely correct, but can you think about these concepts in a holistic way? Can you identify what is missing from a field of research? Can you identify what is being said in academic research but might not track with your individual experiences? Can you mine through some of this research and figure out what is actually a best practice that might help your organization or help you as you're guiding other organizations into making better strategic decisions related to their groups and their teams and enhancing decision making? So you'll notice this is an asynchronous class. That is how the course is scheduled. I'm going to keep it that way. So there's no weekly required meeting. Now, I'm happy to meet with students. I'm happy to have conversations and engage if something's really on your brain, but I want to be fair to students that are traveling, that have family obligations, that signed up thinking this was an asynchronous course, and I want to be true and authentic to that. So all of the work can be completed remotely. You don't lose points, right? You don't have any obligations weekly in terms of a set time to meet. But I am happy to meet with you, and I want you to know you can reach out anytime to engage in conversation or seek feedback, whatever that might be. Each week, we will be doing a slightly different variation of an assignment. So a lot of the work will occur through the discussion boards, but that doesn't mean you're just answering a discussion prompt. So it's not going to be the same every week. And each week is sort of focusing on a different aspect of an academic skill that you can also take into your organization. So sometimes it might be sharing what you think. Sometimes it might be finding an article and sharing it back out with the group and explaining how that article adds to your knowledge. Sometimes it might be reading something and from that mining out the best practices. So I've given you a lot to read and to think about. Now what can you do with it to sort of to shrink it a little bit, I guess, to make it more palatable if you're going into an organization. So this class is meant to bridge students that are interested in being academic researchers so that you're familiar with top tier research and you're used to reading it and critiquing it and talking through it. But it's also meant for students that are interested in a practitioner consulting based career where you also have to be familiar with the research, but your job is more of a translator rather than a collector or a conductor of the research. So we're really practicing separate skills here. It also, I think, keeps it more fun. I don't want to read a plain discussion post every week for 8 weeks. And I want to challenge you, and I want you to feel like your brain is working differently week by week and you're not just getting into a routine of doing the same thing sort of on autopilot. So please know that it's intentional, that some of the activities vary by week, and there will be a mix of readings. I try to incorporate both popular press news, academic sort of practitioner oriented journals like Harvard Business Review, and academic articles from top tier journals. Typically, I've done a lot of articles that are more review based, so sort of giving you a lay of the land. What do we know? You don't have to read 10 empirical articles every single week, but there will be some empirical articles so that you also get used to sort of reading what it looks like to present research and how do you take away some of those main points. So all of that is to say, there's a lot of fun in store. I hope that you are excited. I hope that you're energized. And I hope that you are willing to contribute and to share your voice. This class works best when we're all sort of authentically engaged and giving it our all, and when you're able to communicate with one another. So don't just put the discussion post out there because you have to do it, but to go back and check in, and did somebody comment on your post? And can you reply to them to keep that conversation going? We're building a community here. We're not just checking tasks off a to-do list. So that's our charge. I am available by email. I'm available by Zoom. I'm available by phone. Please reach out to me if you're having any issues. Sometimes things go wonky on eCampus and you're seeing something and I don't know that you're not seeing it. So if you're having an issue or you have a question, chances are other people have those issues or questions too. So please don't hesitate to get in touch with me, to ask a question, to seek clarification. That is my role here, is to sort of guide you through this content over the next 8 weeks. And it is a lot of content, right? We're taking a class that could be taught in 16 weeks. We're teaching an area of study that somebody has for their entire career, and we're giving you 8 weeks of it. So it's a lot, but it should give you, the confidence and competence to talk about the various stages of groups and teams and decision making, and the various characteristics that impact their decision making and their effectiveness, and how to go about promoting the best teams and the best policies and procedures that support those teams and their aims. So welcome to our second 8 weeks, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad to be able to spend 8 weeks just thinking with you all. It's a wonderful thing to just spend time growing our brains and opening our minds and asking questions and trying to solve problems. And sometimes we'll see we don't really have the answers, but we can certainly generate the questions that we'd love to answer to get to those bigger solutions. So thank you for being here, and whatever you need, I'm here to support you, and we'll just get it done together. So have a wonderful week. I should tell you the charge this week is really to explore eCampus, to figure out where everything is located, to read through the syllabus, and just to get an understanding of what is expected. And then there is a discussion assignment due this week. So making sure that you pay attention to that. And if you have trouble accessing anything, let me know. Okay, have a wonderful week ahead, and I look forward to engaging with you all soon. Take care. Bye.